Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Completionist. I haven't done one of these in a while, guys, and for this episode I'm going to show you how to complete a must-have for anybody's Super Nintendo collection, and that game is Mega Man X. Now, Mega Man X is a platformer that was released for the Super Nintendo in 1994, and it is the first game of the much-beloved Mega Man X series. So I'm going to show you how to complete this game. So guys, in order to complete this game, you only need to play it once. It's probably only going to take you anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. And in order to complete this game, we have to grab all the weapon power-ups, all the sub-tanks, all the heart tanks, and the special weapon in this game. So I'm going to show you how to obtain each and every one of these items. So anyway guys, and I know one of my friends has been waiting a long time for me to do this. Let me show you how to fully complete Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo. So here is the title screen for Mega Man X. So let's not waste any time and let me show you how to complete this game. When we first play the game, we're treated to a prologue stage, which sets up the story for Mega Man X. There isn't really anything to collect in this stage, so just play through it normally, and you'll get into a boss fight that you can't win. Once this stage is over, in typical Mega Man fashion, you're brought to the screen in which you can fight any of the 8 robot masters in no particular order. Once the prologue stage is over, guys, you are brought to the stage select screen. In this screen, you see all of the 8 robot masters you can fight. Just remember, guys, that there is no right or wrong way to play this game. You can choose to fight whoever you want, but just remember that no matter how you play the game, some backtracking may need to take place because all the items you need to collect in the game may not be available immediately. There are also some other things you can do on the stage select screen, such as looking at the specifications of each of the robot masters. Specifications are usually the enemy's height, weight, and as well as some of their special attacks. You can also bring up the map menu to show you which areas of the map that the robot masters are located, as I'm demonstrating with Flame Mammoth and Boomer Kawanger. So for this guide, guys, I'm going to show you what items you can find in each of the stages. So let's start with everybody's favorite first robot master in Mega Man X, which is Chill Penguin. In the Chill Penguin stage, there are 2 items that we need to collect in this stage. The first item will be your first upgrade, which will be for your boots, which will give you the ability to dash. This upgrade capsule is actually pretty easy to find, and it's impossible to miss since you need to get this capsule in order to advance through the rest of the stage. The second item is not available to you right now, but once you beat the Flame Mammoth stage, go back to the Chill Penguin stage. Once you get to this point in the game, use the body armor to jump higher onto the second ledge of the structure, and use Flame Mammoth's weapon to destroy the structure in order to obtain a heart tank. Once you get these 2 items, it's time to take out Chill Penguin. He is probably the easiest robot master in the game, and even though he is weak to Flame Mammoth's weapon, he can be taken out quite easily with your charge shot as well. The best thing to do is stick to the top of the wall and shoot him if he tries to jump at you, or once he stops sliding or shooting projectiles at you as well. With Chill Penguin defeated, the next robot master I usually go after is Storm Eagle. In Storm Eagle's stage, we can collect 3 items in this stage. The first item we can collect is the heart tank in the Storm Eagle stage. What you need to do is ride the elevator to the very top of the stage. Once you reach the top, do a slide jump to the far left of the screen, and you'll land on a ledge in which you can obtain the heart tank. The second item in the Storm Eagle stage is your first energy sub-tank. You can get this item by destroying the turret and riding the elevator to the top of the control tower. Once you're in the control tower, destroy the robot in the tower to make the glass shatter, and then on the very far right of the control tower, you can find your first energy sub-tank. The last item you need to grab in this stage is your helmet power-up. You get this item by sliding down the wall and doing a wall dash jump to the other side of the screen. Go ahead and destroy the gas tanks, even though it may take quite a few shots to destroy them. Go down the small corridor and you'll see the capsule. Once you get the helmet power up, you can break the blocks that are in the room just to try out your new upgrade. When you're ready to face Storm Eagle, his normal weakness is against Sting Chameleon's weapon, but can be taken out easily enough with your Mega Buster. He doesn't have many attacks that can actually hurt you, except for his dive and the little birds that fly at you. His main mode of attack is blowing you off the ledge, which should not be much of a problem as long as you have your upgraded boots. With Storm Eagle defeated, let's move on to our next robot master, which is Flame Mammoth. It is recommended that you beat Chill Penguin before you move on to Flame Mammoth, because beating Chill Penguin stage first will cause the floor in the Flame Mammoth stage to freeze, which will make the stage much easier. You can also get 3 items in this stage, and the floor needs to be frozen in order to get one of the items. The first item you can get in this game is an item that is commonly missed, which is your Mega Buster upgrade. When you get to this point in the stage, you need to do a dash jump at the very edge of the platform. It's going to require a lot of practice. I can't tell you how many times it took before I could finally get it. If you do it right, you'll actually hang off the wall for a split second. Use that split second to break the blocks and go up that section to get your Mega Buster upgrade. Now, if for any apparent reason you fall down or break any of the blocks so that you can't get back up there, just simply retry the stage once you have Flame Mammoth defeated. Also guys, getting this capsule isn't really necessary because you can still get the Mega Buster upgrade during the first Sigma stage. But in order to consider this game completed, we need to grab every item that this game has to offer, so let's take that extra initiative to grab this item. The second item you can get is the Heart Tank, which is at the very bottom of the floor where the pickaxe robots are to. This is the item that is much easier to get once Chill Penguin stage is defeated. The third item is your second energy sub-tank. You get this item by going to the top section of the area where the pickaxe robots are too. Once you reach the area with the hard hats, do a dash jump to the far left side of the screen. You'll land on the wall where you can see the energy sub-tank. Break the wall to get this item. When you're ready to face Flame Mammoth, his normal weakness is against Storm Eagle's weapon, and can actually be dispatched quite easily, so definitely take advantage of that. With Flame Mammoth defeated, let's move on to our next robot master, which is Spark Mandrill. It is recommended that you defeat Storm Eagle before fighting Spark Mandrill, because by destroying Storm Eagle's ship, it will crash into the power plant, cutting the power, and stopping electrical bolts that fire across the ground. Defeating Storm Eagle stage first can also make the mini-boss in this stage that much easier. There are two items we need to grab in this stage. The first item will be your third energy sub-tank, but in order to get it, we need to get the Boomerang Cutter weapon by defeating Boomer Kawanger. Go to the wall and shoot the boomerang in a downward arc in order to get the boomerang to grab and pull the sub-tank your way. The other item is the heart tank in this level. You could use the boomerang for this item as well, but you can get this item by climbing the top of the wall and doing a quick dash jump to quickly climb the ledge to grab this heart tank. When it comes to defeating Spark Mandrill, he is literally one of the easiest bosses in this game as long as you have the weapon he is weak to, which is Chill Penguin's weapon. When you shoot him, he freezes, and the moment he thaws himself, freeze him again, and rinse and repeat. Easy peasy. With Spark Mandrill defeated, let's move on to our next robot master, which will be Armored Armadillo. In the Armored Armadillo stage, we have to collect two items in this stage. The first item we're going to collect in this stage is the final energy sub-tank in the game. This item can be found once you drop into a pit and a bulldozer robot will be chasing you. Immediately climb up the wall and wait for the bulldozer to pass. In that same chamber is where you will find the final energy sub-tank. The second item we need to collect is the heart tank for this stage. When you come across the second bulldozer in the level, you have two options. You can either outrun it or destroy it. I would recommend destroying it with the Flame Mammoth's weapon. Once the bulldozer is destroyed, go down the narrow path and you'll see the heart tank. Climb the wall to gain access to it. When it comes to fighting Armored Armadillo, he is weak to Spark Mandrill's weapon. Once he stops rolling, fire a spark shot at him to make him lose all of his armor. After he loses his armor, he will be very easy to beat. When you do beat him, we will need to backtrack to this level later on in order to collect one more item. But we will do it once we have collected all the other items in the rest of the stages in Mega Man X. With Armored Armadillo defeated, let's move on to our next Robot Master, which will be Launch Octopus. In the Launch Octopus stage, we will only need to collect one item, which is the Hard Tank. In order to get the Hard Tank in the Launch Octopus stage, we need to ride the Wave Cylinder up to the submarine and destroy it. Once the submarine is destroyed, it will fall to the bottom. Ride the submarine all the way down and walk right to the next corridor. You'll be in a large room. You need to defeat the robotic sea serpent in this room by either shooting its head or tail. Once the sea serpent is defeated, continue walking to the right and you'll get the Heart Tank for this stage. When it comes to fighting Launch Octopus, he is probably the hardest Robot Master in the game, even if you use his weapon weakness. He is weak to Armored Armadillo's weapon, but if you have Boomer Kuwanger's weapon, you can actually cut off some of his tentacles. By cutting off his tentacles, you dramatically lower the amount of projectiles this boss fires at you. You may need to use a sub-tank to defeat this boss, but be persistent and you will beat him. So guys, that takes care of part 1 on how to complete Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo. Stay tuned for part 2, in which we'll look at beating the rest of the Robot Masters and taking out the final boss in this game. So guys, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.